What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Living in El Paso. So as promised, I mentioned I was going to be making a series to really explain the difference between what the East Side has to offer versus the West versus the Northeast, and just more in-depth neighborhood reviews. Okay, so today I'm actually going to go out to the Far East, and I figured I would bring you guys with me because I'm going to be making some tours already for other clients, and this is a great opportunity. Now, I also want to use this opportunity to share a little bit of the difference, in my opinion, as a local that has lived and practically been here my whole life, difference between the zip codes. And a lot of people ask me this question, like, what's the difference between the Far East and the East Side? And in my opinion, it's going to be that in the Far East, you're going to see more new development. In the East, you're going to see more of the established development. And that might be a good thing depending on what you're looking for. However, the houses are going to be a little more outdated depending on what you're looking for and what you're willing to spend. So in the Far East, I have a lot of people that are relocating and they're looking for something that's close proximity to Fort Bliss or just close proximity to the airport. And that area gives them that access to 375 to just jump on and get to where they need to. And I'll take you guys with me actually so that you can see a little bit of how that little maneuver is, because there's this one part that I really want to show you guys that it happened actually. It was a story that happened a while back, but there was a military person that worked here in El Paso, and they were taking one of the exits that's very, very close, and you'll see what I mean. I won't show that one to you on this video, but I'll make another one for you. But there's basically two exits, right? That one takes you to Mexico, Juarez, and then the other one takes you to the West Side. So it was really, really unfortunate because in his situation, he went and crossed, and that was a whole fiasco for him. So definitely you want to be mindful of where your exits and where you're going. So on this particular video, I'll share with you how the 375 is the best access for you to get to the airport, for you to get to the West Side, and then from there show you a little bit more about what the Far East looks like. And then right now I'm about to get a smoothie from this place that I love, so I wanted to bring you with me because I hear this from a lot of people that they think El Paso has nothing, and like, you just need to get out there, okay? You need to go out and discover some of these places because there's a bunch of places, and I love how much new just community that we're getting here in El Paso, and so many different cultures that are investing and that we're seeing this really start to paint a different picture. So let's head into my favorite smoothie. Well, it's not my favorite one because I really love these other places that I'll show you, but one of my favorite ones. This particular shopping center is in the East Side in the 79936, just so that you can kind of gauge yourself. And I'll put a little map here for you guys to see what the difference is between like the East, the West, and like where I'm at. Then here it has a vista, and a vista, for those of you that are from like Miami and you're not familiar with what a vista is, it's kind of like a Sprouts but a Mexican version of it. So they have a lot of things that a lot of people love to go and get their groceries from, or like when it's going to be a carne asada on the weekend and you want to go and get some meats, that's a perfect spot to go and get some of the stuff. There's a lot of other carnicerías, which is like meat shops here in El Paso, that I can highly, encourage you guys to try out, but that's a whole other video. We'll get into all of that. I'm so excited for this new way of approaching this channel because for the longest time, I wanted to make it more geared around vlogging and giving you guys information, but I was very hesitant to bring you guys out with me. I don't know why, but now we're doing it. In this 2025, we're going to share you guys everything that you should know about El Paso. So let's get into today's video. So now we're gonna head to that shop that I was telling you guys about for the smoothies. I'm not gonna lie, I am so sad. Look at what this is saying. This was a place I wanted to show you guys, and it is completely, okay, well, it is what it is. There's a lot more shopping centers that are gonna be opening up. So we're gonna focus on the positive. Okay, well, focusing on the positive, we made it to the Vista, and inside the Vista, think about it as a Mexican Whole Foods, okay? Not so healthy food, but they do have very, very good food. So you're going to have cakes that you can buy there. They can custom make them. They have freshly baked bread, donuts. It's like a Mexican Krispy Kreme as well. You also have a ton of things for a party. So those quesos that you see there, which are like dips, I highly recommend you check those out. And they do also sell aguas frescas. If you don't know what those are, think of it as whenever you go to like a kermés and they sell you these right here. Oh my gosh, they are the best. Anyways, definitely a place worth checking out, especially if you've never been to one. You will not be disappointed. So unfortunately that place was closed, as you saw in my video. Sad face. But I wanted to show you the Vista because honestly I don't really go there too often, but my grandparents do, and every single time they come back with goodies. Be mindful, okay, these things have a lot of sugar, so just be careful, but it's a great place that's nearby. Now we're gonna head over to the Far East. That's where I'm heading to now. And just so that you're familiar, we'll do another video more in depth about the East Side, and I'll book an appointment for us to actually see something in the East Side. I have some clients that look in the East, but not many. Most of them are looking for either something a little bit newer, or they're looking for something in the West Side because they're already looking to get something a little bit bigger. So not to say that in the East you can't find something bigger, but just preferences. So with that, I'm gonna head over to the Far East. So just so that you're familiar with where I'm at, I'm over by Edgemere and Sal Kleinfield. So heading over to this area, we're gonna pass by the Providence Hospital. So this is something that I get asked a lot, like easy access to getting to the hospitals. Something you want to keep in mind is the way that El Paso is divided. Every area has a hospital. So I know there's a lot of areas in other places where it feels like, oh my gosh, it's going to take you, the response times are going to be very, very high. That's very different here in El Paso, because as long as you're living in the, not in the outskirts, and you're living inside the city limits, you are going to have that easy access to these amenities that you're asking for, whether it be a hospital, whether it be a shopping center, whether it be grocery places, or, places to go get food. These places are going to be within, 10-15 minutes. Obviously, it's depending on where exactly you're located, but for the most part, that's what you're going to experience. Okay, guys, so just to walk you through where we are, this is considered going into the Far East, okay? Now, anything with the zip code 7993625 are considered the old school East Side, if you want to see it that way. This is a Providence Hospital that is located in the 79938. So as I was mentioning, there's a lot of clients that sometimes ask me, Alexa, I want to have close proximity to a hospital. I want to, have quick response times. The way El Paso is divided, to be honest, no matter what area you live in, as long as you are, as I've mentioned before, within the city limits, you should be in a good area to still receive the care, or again, be able to arrive quickly to an emergency room, God forbid you need it. But again, having that accessibility I know is super important. Now, as we continue our little tour here, that you see on the corner is actually El Dorado High School. So for a lot of my folks that ask me sometimes, Alexa, I have, high schoolers and I want to make sure that I'm close proximity to a good area with good schools. Also, sometimes they don't have cars, so they want to have close by shopping centers. As you can see here, if they're hungry, there is everything that they need. There's Blake's, there's, I think there's also a Sonic right here. There's like Chinese cuisine. There's a Dunkin' Donuts. There's really a lot for them to do. So there is no need for them to feel like they need to get a car if that's something that they're pressing you on. Nope, the school is right across the street. You can walk yourself there and eat some food and then go back to school like most of us did when we were in high school. So anyways, I just really want to share with you guys the difference between the new East Side and the old school East Side. Although I can argue that there is a lot of new development still happening in the East Side, which is, I mentioned, the 36, the 25 zip codes in that vicinity. However, you're still going to see a lot more new things in the 3/8 simply because of the fact that, again, it's all brand new. I know when I make these videos, I get people that message me or comment on the videos telling me, Alexa, it's changed so much. I remember that none of this stuff was there at one point. Yep, it has really, really changed. And I always like to preface the fact that there's a lot of investment happening in El Paso that I've noticed personally as an investor. I deal with other investors that are higher calibers, and you really can see that there's a lot of investment happening in El Paso. Now here, I'm taking you guys to this new subdivision, which we're going to be checking out in RS Homes. Now, RS Homes is a semi-custom builder, super affordable prices, and just wait till you see the final product of this builder because you are not going to expect it, especially for the price. At the time of this recording, this property was actually listed for right underneath $380,000. And just take a look at the architecture, look at the details, the black custom wall, the black custom door. You have all the fixtures and amenities inside, which personally I love when the builders do this and they don't cheap out. I've seen a lot of builders that they don't include the little custom builds. They don't include, the fixtures that match with the handles. And with this builder, you really do get a lot of quality. So as you can see in the tour, a lot of space here. Also, as I mentioned, there is that pocket storage that they include inside of the tub, which is really nice because, again, a lot of builders don't do that for you. So it is something that comes in handy. As you can see, also the closet has the double space there, so you can have things up at top if you want to fold some stuff and then some shoes on the bottom. And then look at this open concept. I mean, they really did not cut any corners here. Nice granite. You have your stainless steel appliances. And I know that a house like this in California, I mean, you're easily talking about $1 million. This right here in El Paso, you're going to get for right underneath $400,000. Like I said, at the time of this recording, this one was around $380,000. So you really do get a lot for your money, which is one of the nice things that we have clients all the time tell us. Alexa, I'm looking to go to El Paso because I want to save more money. Or some of them, they want to retire. And again, as I've mentioned before in other videos, yes, is El Paso Miami? No. Is it Disneyland? No. Is it Florida? No. But we do have a lot of unique culture over here. And if you're somebody like me that likes to travel, I just got back from Europe. I get the luxury to do that because I'm not spending an arm and a leg every single month on my mortgage like I know I would if I was in a place like Miami, California, you name it. So again, it has its pros, it has its cons, just like anything. Do your research and ensure that it is something that's going to be a good fit for you. Now, as you can see, the lots here are also really, really nice. I've seen a lot of builders that they just cheap out. They give you a super tiny lot. And depending on the area you're looking for, you're definitely going to get a lot for your money. Now, as you can see, look at the neighborhood, really nicely cleaned up. Everything is put together.
So I hope by now you've been able to really see the difference between neighborhoods from the east location coming into the newer Far East, and then now in the completely new Far East. So I'm gonna keep showing you guys a little bit of this area before heading to the west. I have an appointment over there, so I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys with me so that you can see how accessible it is from this location out to the west, out to Fort Bliss, or even to the airport. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. So originally I was gonna take you guys with me to the west side, but we're gonna have to reschedule an appointment because my clients think it's very, very dusty outside, and honestly, I do too. So instead, what we're gonna do is I'm going to take you guys to this place. Since the channel is also going to be geared around all the best things that you should try out here, I'm gonna take you to this place called Humo. It's a wood fire oven kitchen, and I love it there. I've taken my grandma a couple of times. The food is really good, so let's make it a vlog about that experience along with the tour that we've done so far.
So instead of going left, we basically did a whole U-turn. That's Pebble Hills, and the restaurant is going to be coming up. All right, don't mind my humming happy vibe going on. I was super happy to get some food. And as you can see, the overall food was definitely as good as it looks. So definitely check it out if you're ever in town. Now here I am making my way to the west side. So this is Trans Mountain for those of you that are not familiar. This is what I mean when I say that this is going to cost you. Being closer to the Franklin Mountains is a big deal over here. Actually, today is a completely new day because yesterday we got hit with a horrible sandstorm. I had not witnessed what we just witnessed yesterday, honestly. I personally, I will insert a clip for you guys to see how crazy it was. And it's very, very seldomly that we see dust storms the way that we experienced yesterday personally, because it does occasionally happen, especially during March, April. It's just the season. But anyways, we're gonna conclude today's video with showing you guys how exactly we got from the far east over to now where we are, which is the west side. In this particular location, I am literally right off the Franklin Mountains. The sights that you probably saw on my way out here are just beautiful. And this is really what I want to emphasize when it comes to choosing the location that's best for you. It really comes down to what are you looking for and what is your price going to look like, right? What is your monthly payment? Or if you're going to look for cash, what are you comfortable paying? These are things that you really want to ask yourself because the location is going to vary. The west side typically price per square foot is typically going to be higher simply because we're closer to the mountains, and a lot of the time they used to argue that there was more amenities, but now with all the expansion going on, honestly, it's hard to argue the same point, especially because of all the new restaurants opening up in the Horizon area, in the East area, the new Gamescape, which I will take you guys to that with me. You guys are gonna like the fact that we have some more fun stuff out in that side as well, because before we did have more on the west side. So with that being said, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to let us know. I would love to connect with you. And for those of you that are considering purchasing in El Paso, I would love to assist. If you are purchasing in El Paso and you would like our assistance, all the links are down below for you to book your free call. However, if you're not looking to purchase in El Paso and maybe you're looking to purchase in a different area and you would like for us to connect you with somebody, also let us know. As we've mentioned in other videos, we really make sure that the people we're going to recommend you with are people that are also going to take care of you the way that we would take care of you, right? Just make sure that whoever you decide to work with at the end of the day, that they have your best interest. And with that being said, thank you for watching another video. I will see you guys on the next one. And we do already have 2 other videos you can check out if you're interested in learning more about the west side. So check those out. And I just wanted to include a quick clip here of what you can really get out in the west side. Custom built homes, definitely worth checking out. This particular home was actually listed for around $400,000. So still some really great deals, no carpets. And if you are interested in us sending you a custom list with properties geared around what you're looking for, feel free to send us a message, whether it be on our Instagram, send us a direct message to our phone number, or just go ahead and book your free buyer relocation consultation, and we'll be more than happy to go over everything with you. Until the next one.